Welcome back to Bibliophiles Audiophiles. On today's episode, we are doing The Stranger by Albert Camus. Camus. Listen, we're dumb. Anyhow.
Big Al.
Yeah, Big Al. Yeah, Big Al. Throwback. Anyways, yeah, so that's what we're doing today. This book was recommended to us from my friend Toby.
Or Charlie.
Whatever you want to call him. Charlie. He rated it a 9 out of 10, or a 10 out of 10 if he is feeling generous. But, obviously, he doesn't listen to the podcast, or else he would know we only go to 5. So I'm going to say he gave it a 4.5 or a 5 out of 5. He said it was quite perspective changing. So, I will give it that.
Yeah, I can see it.
I can see it. But I wanted to go ahead and say his rating so I didn't forget.
Yeah.
So now you can go with the description.
Okay, so the description. Since it was first published in English in 1946, Albert Camus's first novel, The Stranger, it's written in another language in parentheses there. I think it's Le Étranger, maybe? It's French? I don't know.
It's French.
Has had a profound impact on millions of American readers. Through the story of an ordinary man who unwittingly gets drawn into a senseless murder on a sun-drenched Algerian beach, Camus explored what he termed the nakedness of man faced with the absurd. Now, in an illuminating New American Translation, extraordinary for its exactitude and clarity, the original intent of The Stranger is made more immediate. The haunting novel has been given a new life for generations to come. I love how it's in a New American Translation. As if America is its own language.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
In a New American. I speak American.
Me too. Although I can understand British.
You can?
I can.
Oh, I thought you can't. And I'm like, what's the difference about it?
There's words that are different.
Word.
The way they pronounce things.
Expressions.
Their
too.
accents too. I see people who listen to people who are British say stuff and they're like, what are they saying? I'm like, it's really obvious.
Yeah.
I think that's just because I was obsessed with One Direction and I watched and listened to their interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
So
are they British?
4 out of 5 of them are.
I have no idea. I don't know anything about One Direction. So that's
4 out of 5 of them are British and one of them's Irish.
Okay, we don't
Okay, that's fine. We can talk about that another day.
Yeah. This book is not on Kindle Unlimited. It is on Amazon for $2.99. The Kindle version is.
Or at least the version that we picked out.
Yeah. We really hope that we got the right one because there was several different versions. I don't know if it was just different cover photo or what. But this was the one when we looked it up. It said Kindle The Stranger. So, yeah, here it is. I have the reviews. I lost them because I accidentally closed the app. So this one is a 4.75, first 120 pages. Life is meaningless and we are powerless to change it. Last 3, life is meaningless and we are powerless to change it. With a happy face and a bunch of exclamation marks. Yeah, so same thing, just happy.
Yeah.
3 stars, overrated.
Oh.
5 stars. This book is weird, but I found it extremely interesting, well written, and thought-provoking. I have no idea why I want to give it a 5-star rating, but I do. 3 out of 5 stars. Not sure how I feel about this one. Hopefully someone smart on YouTube can explain it to me. Oh, I laughed really funny. All the reviews are huge and give away the plot. So I'm really... 2 stars. I'm so happy I finally finished this book. It's an easy read to start with when you're learning French when it comes to the language, but it was a very slow read for me. I didn't want to continue reading because I didn't like the main character. I'm not going to read past that because... one more. 3 out of 5. It's a good book, but doesn't deserve the hype it gets, in my honest opinion. So a lot of mixed reviews. I couldn't find anything below 2 stars, but 5 stars are rare on this one.
I should also add that the average rating on that is a 3.81.
I completely forgot about that.
That's why I pulled it up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did you do trigger warnings?
I didn't. Let's go back.
Alyssa!
Listen, sis.
You're fired! And you got on me because I didn't look up the average review.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so content warnings that they have listed here is murder, domestic abuse, death, animal cruelty, death of a parent, and gun violence.
I also wrote that, except plus murder, because there's murder in it.
There is murder. That was the first one I listed.
Is it? No, it isn't.
Yes, it is!
Bruh. I just don't listen to you when you talk.
Clearly. God damn.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right. Okay, well, we will hop into it then.
Take it away, James.
There's some spoilers coming up, sweetie. You better cover your ears.
By the way, thank you, Jerry. We forgot.
Thanks, Jerry. Thanks, James.
We don't want to seem unappreciative to our J-bands. Now that we got everything out of the way.
Yeah.
The guy was like, the funeral were bringing it home for me, saying that he didn't feel his mom dying until the funeral. Like, I get that, because I don't cry until funerals, but, like, your mom? Okay, your dad?
Yeah.
If your dad died, would you, like, not cry until the funeral?
No, I'd cry.
I cry at the thought of my dad dying.
Yeah. No.
Like, literally, sometimes my mind is just like, what if he died? And I'm like, boo. Because, like, I would be so distraught.
I think about that with, like, my grandparents, too. Like,
Yeah.
It makes me, like, really sad.
Yeah.
And then, like, the one morning I found out my aunt died, I found out through a text message.
That's bad.
That's not my dad's fault, though.
Yeah.
Actually, it kind of is, because he's the one that did it.
Well,
But
was it his sister?
No. Sister-in-law.
I was going to say, maybe he was distraught.
No, we were kind of expecting it, because suddenly she was in the hospital on, like, Wednesday.
That makes sense.
And then 2 days later, because this was a Friday, she died. So.
I was having a yard sale when my granddad died. Nope. When my granddad got put in a hospice, I was there when he died. My brother wasn't, because he stopped for chicken fingers on the way.
Yeah, I remember that.
Bro,
oh my God.
Literally, I'm like upstairs and I'm going, like, my grandparents lived in the basement. And so I was walking down there. My brother, like, walks in with chicken nugs.
And I'm like, sitting down.
Yeah, he's like, sitting down. I'm like, you may want to come downstairs. And he's like, okay, I will in a minute. But between me going downstairs and my brother coming downstairs, my granddad died in the middle of that. And then, like, everyone's crying and Garrett walks in, and then my grandmother's like, oh, everybody's sad because Garrett walked in the room. And so, like, everyone started laughing, and then Garrett's like, what did I miss? And I'm like, Garrett. Bro. Everyone's crying, and he's looking around, and he's like, what's going on? I'm like, Granddaddy died. And he was like, oh.
I'm pretty sure you told him upstairs, because I was there for that.
Yes! I was like, you may want to come downstairs, because, like, the hospice lady's saying it's going to be any minute. And he's like, I'll come down in a minute. And he sat down and started eating. I hope he's not listening to this, because he still feels really bad that he missed our granddad dying because he got chicken nuggets on the way. Everybody thought it was funny, if it makes any difference. My grandmother thought it was hilarious.
And I remember, it was your aunt. She was, like, sitting on the couch there, and she was just like, well, I guess it's my turn next.
I know!
I was upstairs, but you told me about that, and I was just like,
bruh, my aunt had cancer in her mouth, and so she's like, I guess it's my turn next. And I'm like, bruh, too soon, bro. Don't even go there. Ooh. She's still kicking, though.
Yeah, she is.
She's still kicking, yeah. Anyways, now that we've started this episode off on a horrible foot.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like, because that's
it was related.
That was my first note. I was just like, wow, starting off strong with dead mommy.
Yeah, we segued, you know?
And then I said, why is it always the mom dying?
It really is. Bro, I was watching Smosh, right? You can cut this on care. And it was like, Disney theme, and Damien wore a crown, and he was on the phone. He's like,
oh, yeah.
I got cast as a princess's mom.
Yeah.
A princess's mom. That's a big part. And, like, there's no moms present in, like, any Disney movies.
That's not true, though.
Well, they die quickly.
That's not true.
Who?
Tiana.
I never watched that one. My mom wouldn't let me watch it.
Tangled.
Okay, she's available 5 minutes out of the whole hour and a half.
Brave.
She was just a... No, I'm just kidding. No, I forgot about Brave.
Who else? I think there's
Moana. No, she left. She left.
No, Moana.
She left. Her mom is only in that movie for like maybe 10 minutes.
No, her mom's at the end of the movie.
At the beginning, and she's like, I cannot name one line that Moana's mom says. It's Moana's dad singing to her.
No, her mom says something. She actually sings a song. Not like her own song. But she sings in a song. I can't think of the name of the song, but like I know I can hear her voice in my head, but I can't hear the words.
I can hear the grandma.
Like, you know what I mean?
The grandma was more present than the mother.
That's fair, but she was a really big part in the movie, though.
Yeah. Anyways, moms don't have any impact on lives. That's what we learned from Disney itself.
Yeah.
No.
My third note is heat and dead bodies do not mix.
No, for real.
Which we've talked about before in the Paris apartment.
Yeah.
With people's bodies like melting and stuff. I think we mentioned that. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Really
hot.
Yeah, because we brought up my dad.
Yeah.
That sounds really bad if you didn't listen to that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering, I was like, where is this book based? To have someone buried the very next day, like they die and like he goes to sit, because I don't know how it is in other places, but here in Alabama, there is at least 5 to 6 days between death and funeral. 4 if you're really pushing.
Yeah.
And if you die on like a Thursday, you can be buried that weekend.
Yeah.
But like any other time, you're usually buried on Saturdays around here. I don't know why.
Well, that was the case with your granddad.
Yeah, I think granddad died on like a Thursday. And he was buried by like Saturday.
The last time I was at a funeral was actually for this random person in Ohio when I went to go visit my godmother there.
Yeah.
I did not know them.
Why would your godmother take you to a funeral?
It was her friend's dad. That's why.
I guess I can't.
And I was pretty much the chauffeur.
Oh,
because,
that makes sense.
you know, she had surgery. She had surgery on her shoulder, so she couldn't drive.
100% sense. Yeah.
So I was the one driving. That's why I was there for like 2 weeks.
My mom sent me to a funeral because she wanted to go, but she wasn't available because she had to work, so she sent me instead. Barely knew the people. The lady was crying and hugged me, and I was like, I don't know you. I don't know
There
you.
is someone, when I went to your granddad's funeral, I sat next to this lady, no idea what her name is, but she hugged me, and by the way, I know you noticed, but like I bawled my eyes out at your granddad's funeral, and I like barely knew him.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here bawling my eyes, and like this lady who's sitting next to me that I don't even know her name, she was like comforting me, and I'm like,
I'm just the roommate.
I remember like pretty much, yeah. And then like you guys were all walking out, and then I went to join you, and you were just like, "Are you okay?" Because I was crying way more than you were, I think, and I'm just like,
I was trying really hard not to cry because like I was heavily pregnant at the time.
Yeah.
And when I cry really, really hard, I get really nauseous. And being heavily pregnant, it was all I could do not to vomit the entire time. And so, like, me and my brother were holding hands, because, like, the only time me and my brother touch each other is when somebody dies. That sounds really bad. We only hold hands at funerals, because the last one was a few years prior with my great-grandmother when she died. But, yeah, like, I'm sitting there, like, holding his hand, trying not to cry. And then, like, I look and see you, and you're bawling, and I'm just like, oh my god, keep it together. Because, like, I really don't want to throw up.
I barely, like, know your granddad, because, like, by the time, like, I got to actually meet him, he was pretty sick.
To be fair, I'm gonna, you know, be devil's advocate here. I had cried 4 days before the funeral.
Yeah.
Like, not 4 days, the entire 4 days leading up to the funeral, I cried every single day.
Yeah.
But at that point, which I was throwing up a lot, because when I cry, I throw up. I don't know why I do that. Like, when I sneeze, my left foot hurts. My body's just quirky like that. So, I was just really trying not to throw up at that point. But,
you know, I don't know. I was just really sad.
Yeah.
I think it's just more so because, like, your whole family was hurting.
Yeah.
And it made me really sad, because I care about your family, like, a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
For obvious reasons.
I know.
I mean,
obvious, you know.
Because I like you, and I like your dad.
Oh, I was going to say they feed you.
They do that, too.
That makes sense.
They give me a roof over my head, too. So
Food is the way to our hearts. But it was weird that he sat by the coffin all night. Did he explain why? To, like, ward off the spirits or something?
No, I don't know. I feel like he probably just wasn't...
It's like a thing of respect. Because, like, there's a bunch of old people.
Yeah.
He, like, sat by the coffin all night, and, like, they had all these chairs, and there's these old people, like, just drinking tea.
Well, she was put in a home.
Yeah. I know, because people were so mad at him for putting her in a home. And I'm like, he like, literally said, I don't know how to care for her.
Yeah.
And, like, that's okay.
Yeah.
Apparently, it wasn't like a nursing home. I think it was, like, an assisted living type deal.
Yeah.
Which, those are, like, palaces compared to nursing homes.
Oh, do coffins have screws to keep them closed?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
They're screws or nails, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the saying, you put a nail in my coffin, means like you're sealing it up from it kind of deal.
I've heard that, but I
know
didn't.
not screws. I know nails.
Well, they were talking about how they were screwing the coffin closed.
Yeah, and they're like, "Do you want to look?" And he's like, "Nah, bro, I'm good." That was kind of weird to me.
I can understand it though.
Why?
Because like for example, when my godmother's father died, I was at his funeral.
Yeah.
I felt weird going up to the casket and like paying my respects because I'm kind of just like, what do I do?
Yeah, that was kind of me too, especially for my granddad, because everyone was like hugging him and kissing him, and I'm like, I don't want to kiss him if everybody else put their mouth on him.
Yeah.
Because that's really gross to me. So like, I kind of like patted him a little bit, and I said, "Love you." But to me, when people die, your spirit's gone.
Yeah.
Like, I was raised very Christian, and I still have Christian beliefs. When you die, your spirit goes to heaven, and you're no longer here anymore. So the funeral is just a formality. Like, I've already told my family, I'm like, don't throw a big funeral. Because, like, I'm not there. There's no point. Like, sure, it's like a respect the dead kind of thing to some people, but to me, it's kind of like a way for you to tell me goodbye in your own way. Because I've already said peace out.
They being the general public.
Yeah.
People have said that funerals are more for the living than they are for the dead.
They are, 100%. Because, like, when I die, don't throw a shindig. I'm good.
Your brother wants a shindig.
My brother wants a party. He told me he wants, like, music. He said he's going to make a playlist, and he said there's going to be, like, laser lights. My brother's going all out for his funeral.
Man. I can kind of understand not wanting to take off time for work to, like, grieve.
Yeah.
Because I did that with my aunt when she died. I think that day that she passed away, I wasn't working anyway.
Yeah.
But I ended up driving all... literally day of that she died. I drove all the way up to the mall, and I went to Build-A-Bear, and I was trying to explain to them, and like I was crying a little bit when I was saying this too, and it felt really weird, but I was just like, listen, like, my cousin doesn't know this. I don't even know if he's ever going to listen to this. But I was just like, listen.
I was like,
I want to...
Why did you go get a Build-A-Bear? But that makes sense.
Yeah. I was like, I have like this voicemail of like my aunt, and I want to put it into a bear so I can give it to my cousin.
That's really sweet.
I haven't given it to him yet. I don't think he knows about it, but like I haven't seen him.
So you just have a random Build-A-Bear?
It's in my closet. And I told them at the Build-A-Bear, I was just like, I don't even know like when I'm going to give it to him because I don't even know when I'm going to see it. And they were like, you know what? It's fine even if you like keep it for a little while, just have it like, you know, there, and then like give it to him in the future because I'm pretty sure he's still grieving.
Yeah.
And understandable. Like, it's his parent, it's his mom. But, yeah, I literally day of I did that, and then I think the next day I had work.
Yeah.
You know, so like, and like same with your granddad's funeral too. Like, I only took off one day from work.
Yeah.
Because it's not my immediately family member.
It is, but it's not.
But it's, you know.
Yeah. Like, close proximity, but like not blood related.
Yeah.
I mean, you are family.
Yeah.
Like, to be fair.
Basically.
Yeah. You know, I popped out a couple babies, and I said, hey, those are yours.
Yeah.
So.
But, yeah, so I can understand not wanting to take off time to grieve, especially if you're, like, not close.
Yeah.
If my aunt they didn't have a funeral for my aunt.
Yeah.
They might have had a celebration of life, but I don't 100% know.
Yeah.
I live, like, 1,000 miles away from all that stuff.
Celebration of life instead of a funeral, because he was cremated and his ashes spread.
So was my aunt.
Yeah. So, like, celebration of life makes sense.
I don't know. I think they did. Or maybe they didn't. I don't know, but
yeah,
I wasn't given details about that. So I didn't go if there was one. And I feel bad because I want to be there. Yeah. But without details, it's kind of...
it's kind of hard to know when and where to show up.
So I didn't take off work for that.
Yeah.
But I 100% would have. Because I love my aunt.
Mm-hmm. I was surprised that he sat on a balcony, people watching for an entire day. Like, I think either he took off or his boss forced him to be off. And so he literally just sat on a balcony smoking cigarettes, watching people on the street below for like an entire day.
Was that with Raymond? Or was he just by himself?
By himself.
I don't remember that part.
Okay. Like, literally, it was just talking about what all these other people were doing. And I'm like, you could be doing anything else. But then I remember they don't have like TV or Kindle or anything. They probably had books, but like, nothing. I think take this guy as a reader.
According to this description, it was written in 1946. So they didn't have any of that stuff.
Yeah. So I understand him not doing anything, but like, still, people watching an entire day.
And then he did spend like a day at the beach.
Yeah.
With Marie and Raymond.
Yeah, because like literally, that's when he met Marie. I don't know if he knew Raymond previously, but like he literally went to a beach, got laid.
No, he knew Marie for a while.
Yeah, but still, he went and hooked up with her.
Yeah.
Like, right after his mom's funeral. And I'm like, take a beat.
Yeah.
At least, you know? Like, shows, like, some respect.
Yeah.
Oh, I got mad because he said that he likes to wash his hands in the morning because the towel is dry at work because they all share the same towel in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that grossed me out beyond measure. Because he's like, when you go in the afternoon and wash your hands, the towel's all wet and dry, all wet and cold. And I'm like, ooh, hang it up on the outside or something,
Yeah.
you know, at least get it dry.
I don't know why I don't remember that part either.
I said, excuse me, they all use a communal towel to dry hands on at work?
But, you know, to be honest, there's quite a bit I probably don't remember that you've written down. Because I tried listening to this through, like, the audio version of it with the assisted reader thing.
Yeah. I tried to pay really close attention because it's one of my friends that recommended this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just couldn't focus on it. I was lucky with, like, the last hour worth of the book, which I listened to on my drive to work.
Yeah.
I was able to focus on that, and I was able to write down some notes afterwards.
Yeah.
But it's not a good book for audio.
No, yeah. Even reading this book, there was several parts that I had to go back and be like, what? Because, like, there's, like, missing punctuation, or it's just, like, rambling sometimes.
Yeah.
I know my biggest note was about black pudding.
Black pudding?
Do you remember that?
No, but I know what it is.
Black pudding sounds bad. It's made from pork or beef blood with pork fat and a cereal like oatmeal, oats, or barley. And I wanted to hurl whenever I was reading what it was made out of. And I was just like,
Yeah, that's a thing. It's a delicacy.
No. Where?
I think it's British. Well, listen, these are the same people who, like, eat beans on toast.
I could get behind that. I could actually I dip sugar cookies in baked beans because, I don't know why I do that. My dad's sugar cookies, those dipped in baked beans. But, like,
I don't know if I can get behind that.
What about sausage dipped in sugar? That was, when I was growing up, that was the only way I would eat sausage.
Oh.
I was weird. No wonder I had 52 food allergies.
Yeah. You know what I can't get behind, though?
What?
Frosting on pickles.
I can get behind that. James 100% agrees.
It's
funny that we can say anything we want about James and he can't argue.
He can't.
Because now it's on the internet.
Yeah, no, the idea of not blood pudding, black pudding or whatever.
Yeah, it is blood pudding, pretty much.
Pudding,
yeah.
No.
Nasty, and especially if it's, like, cold and congealed. Yeah.
Sorry.
No. I can't do it. I would rather lick a Walmart toilet seat.
Speaking of icks, I have another ick that I discovered on this. Calling, like, a significant other my pet.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
You know how, like, when you're reading, like, smut book?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And it's, like, kitten or my kitten. Like, I can't get behind that either. But my pet just is, like, to me, like, I know pets are, like, our friends, but at the same time, you are their owner.
Yeah.
And so when you're calling your significant other my pet, you're basically saying, I'm your owner.
You see, I can get behind maybe, like, calling, like, your significant other kitten. Not my kitten, though. Like, it's the whole... I like reading stuff where it's, like, they're possessive.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
But not to an animal.
But not that.
Yeah.
Not, like, my pet, you know, something like that. I like my girl.
Yeah.
But, like, my pet, my kitten, you know, like...
I can't do those.
I can get behind kitten.
I don't know. It's just weird. It's giving me, like, old guy vibes. Because usually it is age gap romance, which is... I really don't mind those, but I don't like it when they call you kitten.
Yeah.
Like, that just seems pedophilia to me.
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, because kitten is a baby animal. So,
but
like,
you see, like, also, I hated being called... the idea of being called baby girl.
Yeah.
Until, like, our mutual ex called me that. And I was just like, ooh.
You know what my husband calls me? Okay. He literally doesn't call me. Oops. He calls me mama occasionally, like if he's referring to me from our kid's standpoint.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's just, hey. And then he says whatever he wants to say. I'm like, you could say, like, baby girl, honey bunches of oats. But, like, no, it's just hey.
I love the idea of honey bunches of oats as, like,
Yeah.
a nickname, but that's a very long nickname.
I call him that sometimes whenever he's, like, not paying attention. I'm like, hey, honey bunches of oats, what you doing? And he's just like, why are you calling me that? I'm like, I don't know, honestly, but...
Silly good mood.
My favorite nickname to my brother is Fat Daddy. My brother is skinny, and he does not have children, but I call him Fat Daddy because he hates it. I don't know. One time we were on the phone, and I was like, and he called me, and I said, hey, what's up, Fat Daddy? And he's like, don't call me that ever again. And that is all I call him now. Fat Daddy.
I think I was there for that, too.
Yeah. What's up, Fat Daddy? And he's like, don't talk to me anymore.
I think... I like how Elizabeth used to call him Geet.
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 Or Uncle.
Uncle!
My 2-year-old says uncle, like, so aggressive. She reminds me, like, she's saying uncle at, like, a WWE fight.
Uncle!
Anyways, I did not like all the abuse in this book. It's like, old guy abusing a dog, guy abusing a girl, let's be pals. I don't think he knew. Raymond was one of his neighbors that he knew loosely as, like, a guy that I'm pretty sure did drugs and was mean to women.
Wasn't he also, like, into prostitutes, too?
I am almost 100% certain.
I feel like that was mentioned, and I wrote that
Something
down.
about him being, like, what is it called? A pimp.
Yeah.
Do you have any notes, or am I just steamrolling?
I do. I said a couple of them. The neighbor yelling at the dog.
That made me so sad.
Like, no wonder that thing ran away.
Yeah.
Like, no wonder.
And then, like, the old guy was sad when it left, and I'm like, well, yeah, you abused it. Like, literally yelled at it and hit it.
Yeah.
Like, this is where the animal cruelty comes in.
Yeah.
Like, that was a ick for me.
Yeah. Another thing, too, is, like, I don't remember, was it... Oh my god, what even was the main character's name?
Did I not write it down?
Because I don't even remember. Main character, though. Main guy.
The MMC, main male character.
Yeah. So him.
I try really hard to write the name of the characters, and I didn't. It's just he and him and all this.
Well, anyways, so this dude, right?
Yeah.
Homeboy. Did he propose to Marie, or did Marie propose to him?
Marie proposed to him.
Yeah, and he was kind of just like, sure.
Yeah, because, like, she was like, do you want to get married? And he was like, I don't see the point. And so later, she's like, please marry me. And he was like, okay.
I can't have a loveless marriage.
Red flag.
Yeah. I can't have a loveless marriage. That I
don't understand his thought process on anything.
No.
The bro is, like, walking on a beach. He gets a migraine, so he kills a guy. Like, he mentioned, like, how much his head was hurting. I kept getting vibes that he was supposed to be schizophrenic.
You know what? I can see it.
Because, like, my next note was, like, is he supposed to have schizophrenia? Because, like, nothing that he says or thinks or acts makes sense to me.
It was very, I don't want to say all over the place, but kind of like, it was confusing.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the movie Call Me By Your Name? Or heard of it?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
Okay, so I saw that, 6 years ago with my ex.
Mm-hmm.
It gave me those vibes.
Yeah.
Not because it's anything related to it at all, but because I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
Like, I was sitting there, like, I could understand, like, what's going on in the movie as I was with this. Like, I understood what I was reading, but I still didn't comprehend, like, I guess the point.
Yeah.
Or, like, where this is going and stuff like that.
My husband's watching a show like that. It's like a Western, and I'm like, every time I, like, tune in, I ask him, I'm like, do you know what's going on? And he's like, kind of, not really. I'm like, why are you still watching it? He's like, 2 seasons in.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? It reminds me of this book. Yeah. Like, I literally thought this morning when he was watching it, I'm like, that is literally this. Because there's cool lessons every once and again.
Yeah.
But, like, what's the point?
Yeah, like, there's no, like, storyline.
Yeah.
You know? This was, like, a piece of, like, literary work that was, like, to be, like, I guess, reflective.
Yeah.
But not, like, a story.
It's, like, this author strived for Tuesdays with Maury.
Yeah.
But was insanely tripping on acid the entire time. Bro is like, you know what? I do my best thinking when I'm high. And
in the 1940s?
This was born in the 1940s. Did they have acid in the 1940s? I'm going to Google that, actually. I'd like to know. You know, he may have just been high when he wrote this. Because I'm sorry, Toby. But there's so many times that I'm just like, what is going on?
Maybe drunk. I'm trying to
What
remember.
was the year? 1940?
It said 1946. There was almost a lisp with that 6.
Ooh, it came out in 1938.
Ooh, so no wonder.
Oh.
But no, I don't know. Like, to me, the other thing I didn't like too is that there was like no chapters.
Yeah.
It kind of just like
ran
continued.
together. Yeah.
Like it just didn't
like
there's
one
no
very long-winded sentence.
Yeah. And like if it was broken up a little bit, I feel like I would have enjoyed it better.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel. There's just one author I'm reading. I had 5, now I have 3 because I've read 2 of her books. 3 more of her books on my TBR. And I'm kind of reading her kind of like as a palate cleanser, I guess, between books that we read, just to have something else and to get through my TBR list. And I kind of like her books, but what I don't like is like, you know how like when you have a split POV book, they'll have like this chapter is this person and this chapter is this person?
Yeah.
She doesn't do that. She has it in one chapter.
Oh, all together?
Yeah, she has it in one chapter. So then it'll like go and then it'll go into the next person. And there's no like I listened
Some
to it.
books put like a little symbol or they'll put their name.
I don't know if I've read it when they switch POVs like that. So maybe there is a symbol because I've been listening to it.
Yeah.
But there's no like distinct like won't say like
You just gotta use context clues to figure out who it is.
you can pretty much figure because she also writes in third person too.
Oh.
So that's where it also gets kind of confusing.
Yeah.
So like I need that distinct break between everything.
Structure.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I feel like it was hard to like. I think that's another reason why, because there was no storyline.
Yeah.
Where there was no like. Well, I mean, there was a conclusion, but I kind of felt like it kind of ended slightly abruptly too.
Yeah.
Like it kind of was just like the end.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, well, that's it. That's all I had.
But despite the fact that like whatever happened, I didn't want him to like get put into jail or anything.
Yeah.
I wanted him to be okay.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Like even though this book was like so short and you didn't really get to know the character too well.
It basically told you this guy is okay with abusing dogs, abusing women. He doesn't love his mother.
Okay, that's fair.
He's not happy to be with this girl, but he'll marry her. For giggles.
Okay, that's fair. You're
so like I'm
a
sitting
point.
here, I'm like, this basically is just a book about how much this guy sucks.
You know what? That's fair. But I still didn't want him to go to jail.
Bro, no, he got beheaded.
I know. When I listened to that part on like the car, I think I was just like parking my car, and they were like, "Oh, you've been sentenced to decapitation," and I was just like,
"Yeah, bro." Like literally, he's like, "No, what did I ever do? What was my note? Hang on. He killed someone because he got hot, and now he's being beheaded. He killed a man? He didn't cry at his mom's funeral? Behead him right now."
Yeah.
Because that was literally, they were in court, and
that was part
was
of the defense.
Lawyer's defense was he didn't cry at his mom's funeral.
He didn't even want to see her.
He didn't even want to see her. They nailed the casket.
Like, all this stuff.
He fell asleep while he was sitting there with her casket all night.
That was part of their defense, and it's like,
yeah.
What does that have to do with him shooting somebody?
Like, it has nothing to do.
Yeah.
At all. With anything.
Yeah.
Like, literally, they're like, he killed a man. And then they're like, but he didn't go to his mom's funeral, so let's behead him. And, like, just the jury is just like, yeah, behead him. And I'm like, bro, what's up?
I thought it was interesting, though, that, like, because, he shot the guy, like, 5 times.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, so you shot him once, and then...
It could have been self-defense.
You had a pause, and then you shot him, like, 4 more times. So, like, why the pause?
How did they know he paused?
He admitted
that.
He
did tell him. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm sitting, like, didn't he go into detail about everything?
No. He said stuff, but, like, he didn't go too much into detail, which I feel like if he did, he might have not have died.
Yeah.
Maybe he would have had a better...
Yeah, because they're like, if you admit, we'll get you a better deal.
Yeah.
At least on all the cop shows
Which
I watch.
They already knew he did it. I think he admitted to that, but they were trying to, like, if he would have explained, like, what happened and, like, why everything happened, it probably wouldn't have been as, bad. He probably wouldn't have had his head chopped off.
Yeah.
I didn't even know death penalty was in play until they said decapitation, and I was just like, oh.
I think if we're talking death penalty, I'm pretty sure Texas is the only state that still does the death penalty. Something about it. Because I think everybody doesn't want to do it. But anyways, I think what they do now is more humane. You just go to sleep. But, like, beheading just seems so much crueler.
There's, like, other ways that they have,
Well, there's, like, the electric chair.
The electric chair.
Yeah.
They have, like, the firing thing. So, like, they'll have, like, 7 people lined up. And there'll be a bullet in one of those guns. But they don't know whose gun it is. And then, at, like, the count of 3, they'll all, like, shoot. And then one of those, like, 7 people, if it's 7 people, I don't remember, is the one that ends up killing that person. Yeah. I don't know if that's a thing that still happens, but I know that's a thing that has happened. Where it's just, like, someone's gun, like, ends up killing this person, but they don't know whose.
Yeah.
Because...
Were they still doing beheadings in the 1930s?
I think so.
But yeah, was he an atheist?
Was he what?
Atheist?
He didn't believe in... That's another thing. I'm not even looking at my notes, but I wrote it down, like, somewhere.
Yeah, I looked down and saw atheist, and I'm like, oh yeah.
No, like, that's the one thing I didn't like. Like, not that he was an atheist, but I hated the fact that they were so strongly trying to force religion on him. Like, I just don't understand. Like, I don't...
Well, in the olden times, religion was everything.
Yeah.
Like, so I see, like, that could happen, but, like, it still made me mad, even coming from a Christian.
Yeah.
Because, like, I dislike it when Christians try to shove our religion down someone's throat. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm going to pray for you, and I'm going to love you.
Yeah.
I'll read my Bible, and I talk to God.
Yeah.
But I do not associate myself, or call myself, a Christian currently.
Yeah.
Because Christians are horrible.
Mm-hmm.
They are. They're terrible. So, like, them just saying, like, you need to talk to God, do you need a priest? And he's just like, no.
No, I'm fine, like, as I am. And then, I think, at the end, though, he did say, like, fine, I'll, like, talk to God or whatever. And I think he ended up doing something.
Something religious-based.
I don't remember.
I think he talked to a priest. He talked to a priest, and the priest was like, why
it was the chaplain.
Yeah, chaplain. Yeah, and he was like, well, why are you so dead set against it? And he's just like, I just don't believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just like... It's not gonna, like, it'll help him because, like, again, you can have a relationship with God right before you die. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, he still killed a man. He is still going to be beheaded. Yeah. So from his point of view, he's like, how is this going to help me? Because, like, as a non-believer, he's probably like, you're just wasting my time.
Yeah, repent his sins, I guess, is what they wanted him to do.
Because I know back then, like, a lot of the world was still, like, very heavily religion-based. Yeah. And so they thought... Like, well, you need to repent before you die.
The 1940s, one of, like, the big things is, you know, Hitler hating on them Jews.
Yeah.
That's not the best way to put it, but you know what I mean?
You know, that's the 2023 version. Yeah. Hitler hating on them Jews.
You know, and, like, 1946 was, like, maybe a year after World War II ended, which that's a big part of, like, World War II was the Holocaust. So, yeah, religion was probably a very strong thing still at this time, especially since... I mean, this talks about the guy being murdered on an Algerian beach. So, that's... I think is Algeria in Africa?
They were on vacation. Because I think... What was his name? His friend?
Yeah, it's in Africa.
Whatever his name was.
Raymond?
Raymond. He was like, let's go on vacation. And so he took Marie and then this guy, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And went to, like, a buddy of his. I don't know who the friend was. I don't remember.
Mason?
Something.
Mason or whatever?
Yeah, some weird name.
Whatever it is, I forget. But, yeah.
Oh, that. And, like, to his execution, he was like, I just hope there's going to be a big crowd. And I'm like, I don't know how I would feel.
No.
Because, like, this is really gross, but dead bodies usually defecate themselves.
But why would you want to watch that? My dad's actually...
You know, they didn't have Kindle and they didn't have TV, so, like, that's their only source of entertainment back then.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But my dad was telling me, because he watched a video of someone getting decapitated. Don't ask me why, because I don't know.
Was it when the ISIS stuff?
Probably.
Yeah.
But he was telling me about it, and he's just like, if you ever have the opportunity to, don't.
Yeah.
And he was also telling me how, like, he was just like, did you know that, like, if you, depending on where you start cutting the person's head off, I don't know why he knows this, but he was like, depending on where you cut the person's head off, like, they can be, like, you can be, like, pretty much almost all the way through their neck and they can still be alive.
Yeah.
And that's terrifying.
Yeah. So at least, like, I'm assuming did they use a guillotine or was there an axe?
They were talking about the guillotine.
So, like, guillotine, I'm probably saying that wrong.
No, that's right.
Oh, is it really?
Guillotine.
Oh, I'm so smart. Yeah, no, so, like, they get the guillotine, like, luckily, that's, like, fast, so it's just, like, dead.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like chopping someone's head off with
Yeah.
a knife. Like,
Yeah.
it's not slow going.
Yeah.
At least it's like an all one and done.
Yeah.
I wonder if people are like chickens. When you cut a chicken's head off, they can still walk around.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. But
Like I said, like if it's like mostly off, depending on where you cut, I don't know what still
there's
needs
like
to
a
be connected.
nerve.
Probably
Yeah.
a nerve that's still like connected in your system somehow, and you can still be alive. But
Yeah.
like once this is broken, like
I wonder if you
Your
need to
back-
start
your
from the
back.
back then. The guillotine people had it right. They put them face down. So
Yeah.
they'd start at the back and just chop
Yeah.
that thing clean off.
you know, this suddenly made me remember when I was a freshman, my English teacher, she actually had this like cardboard guillotine in her classroom.
The naughty kids had to get their head cut off.
I forgot why. Like she would mention it, but like freshman year of high school was a very weird blur for me.
Yeah.
I was kind of just like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So I was kind of just like, I guess I'm just here, you know?
I'm here.
So there's that.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about people watching me get my head cut off.
Especially if it's your loved ones too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Marie was there.
No.
Wasn't she?
Well, that's not why I said no. I was just going to be like, I wouldn't want to be there. And then there's people, like, if they're going to get injected with that stuff to, like,
They have like the room.
die, they have the room and, like, your loved ones can watch you. And I'm just like,
Well,
why would you
loved
want to watch?
ones or the loved ones of the victim? I get the loved ones of the victim.
Yeah.
Because it's like justice being
Yeah.
served. But personally, if my husband murdered somebody, I would not want to be there watching him get his head cut off.
Yeah.
I mean, I would, because I'd be there with you in your last moments, but that would haunt me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
But you know, also, there's two things I had about jail.
Yeah.
I can't imagine being in jail because I feel like I'd get so bored and I'd
Yeah.
go crazy.
They have books in jail. I don't know how you get them. Most jails actually have a library. Prisons have a library. I don't know about jails. But, like, what do you do?
I'd probably go crazy.
You sit there and twiddle your thumbs. Find a bitch.
Have you ever heard of the game BitLife?
Yes. I actually love that game.
I used to play it, and like when they have like challenges every single week, and one of them was like being in jail, and you have stuff like that, and you can earn badges, and one of the badges is like escaping prison like 5 times or something.
Yeah.
But that's like literally the only thing you can really do in
Yeah.
that game is try to escape prison, and so it kind of reminded me
Well,
of
I
that
don't know.
in the
My
sense that
dad was telling me the jail in the city that he works, they have flat screen TVs in their cells.
that's cool.
Yeah. And
I
then
bet
he
they
said,
can't pick what they get to watch, do they?
I don't know, but like every cell has their own TV. It's like, could you imagine one person having to keep up with all those remotes, or just giving the inmates remotes?
I feel like they wouldn't, just because they wouldn't want the inmates to do something stupid with them. I don't know, try to kill himself or try to...
Oh
Kill
no,
someone
these
or
are like the respected inmates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the privileged inmates.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And apparently they get like lunches that are better than school lunches. So Dad was like, they actually don't live that bad of a life in some places. Some places are awful.
Yeah.
But yeah. He's like, you know what? They ain't got to pay bills. They get TV. They get free food.
Mm-hmm.
You might get shanked every once in a while. But
Yeah, but
yeah,
But yeah, I feel like I would just lose my mind.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know why this book reminded me of this, but, because it's completely the opposite. Because, he's guilty in this book
Obviously.
of murder, because
Yeah.
he flat out did it.
Bruh.
But there's, I can't remember the name of the person, but
I can't either.
But there's this transmedia class that I took in college, and there was a story that someone wrote about him, and it was like an audio retelling of his story that he said himself, where he was wrongly accused of, I think, murder.
Meursault.
I tried looking it up, and there's a bunch of people who were, like, in jail for, like, decades.
Meursault.
Oh, that's his name?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Sorry.
anyways.
It was bothering me not knowing the name.
So, there's, like, this story that I learned in, like, my senior year of college, where there's this guy who, he has this whole documentary kind of like thing,
Mhm.
where he talks about his time in prison, and he spent, I think, nearly 4 decades in prison for a crime he didn't commit.
Oh, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like...
Like, was it wrongful incarceration? That's dying, isn't it?
I don't know. No, because he didn't die. He ended up getting out of jail. And I can't remember his name, and I tried looking it up. I think it might be Richard Phillips' case. but I'm not 100% certain because there's so many people that I didn't realize were wrongfully accused of murder and were in jail for years for not,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrongfully convicted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Happens a lot.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of just like, maybe the death penalty isn't a good thing. Because, like, what if, like, this person that you're accusing of doing this really awful crime didn't actually do it, and then you kill them, and then, like, a year or two later you find out, oh, by the way, they're innocent.
Yeah, I think the death penalty... The death penalty should be reserved for people who there is proof against them. That
Without
they
a doubt.
No shit did it.
Yeah.
And I think it should only be reserved for serial killers and rapists.
Yeah.
So, especially child rapists.
Yeah.
If anyone is proven guilty of raping a child, they should automatically get the death penalty in my mind.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, children are the purest thing on this planet.
Yeah.
And you're going to hurt them, and you're going to spend 10 years in prison to be out. Like, how is that fair?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous to me.
But, I mean, even though, you know, this guy was full on...
Actually murdered this dude. Yeah.
I don't know why it made me think of that.
Yeah.
Maybe just because...
It's kind of related.
I guess.
No, because he
Not
wasn't
really.
wrongfully convicted.
He wasn't.
Yeah.
But I was still kind of rooting
But-
for him to not be in jail.
I really wish that his friend would also go to jail.
Yeah.
Because, like, the whole reason that this guy, I think his name was Marsal or whatever, the only reason he was out there is because of his friend.
Yeah.
And that guy he killed had beef with his friend.
Yeah.
Not this guy. Because, like, all this dude did was, this guy walked up to the dude on the beach, and the dude on the beach had a weapon.
Yeah.
He wasn't threatening with it. He's literally laying in the sand, or like it was like a stream or something, I don't know. And he picked his weapon up, and this guy's like, okay, bet.
Yeah.
Shoots him 5 times, and I'm like, why would you do that? I was so mad when he shot that guy. I was just like, what is the purpose?
Yeah.
What's the reasoning here?
I think he got, like, blinders. I'm not trying to justify him.
Yeah,
But-
that's why I was wondering, is he supposed to be, like, autistic or schizophrenic? Did he just have a headache and decided, I'm going to shoot this guy? Because I mentioned him having a headache and getting hot.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
like, blinded, like he couldn't see. And he kind of just, like, shot. And then
5 times, though?
then he realized what he did, and he just shot again and again and again and again.
That's
know.
ridiculous to me. Like, what? It never, like, I expected at the very end it would be like, oh, this was his problem. There
Yeah.
was no problem.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the solve for this
Yeah.
issue?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that was the thing. Like, it kind of... The whole situation in itself, like, kind of confused me.
Yeah.
But when Joby Jarles...
Joby Jarles.
Yeah. He mentioned that, like, what he said, it made you, like, think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Very thought-provoking.
I do agree with that. Like,
Yeah, I
you
agree
know,
with that, too.
These,
It wasn't my cup of tea, but,
Yeah.
like, I do understand some aspects of this book. It's kind of like, that makes you think. I wondered a lot if this was the wrong book.
Me too.
Watch Toby reach out and be like, what did you read?
Yeah.
But, like, no, like, I don't understand that. He should have sent screenshot of the cover.
Watch him, like, reach out and be like, what do you mean? Like,
You didn't like it?
you didn't like it? This is,
No.
like, my favorite book.
Yeah, like, he was like, I don't know, man. You must read some weird stuff if this was your favorite book. I'm seriously hoping we just had the wrong book this entire time.
I mean, that's all I have written-wise. But if you wanted to end on a funny note, I have a comment, unless you
Okay.
have more. When Marsal,
I think?
when he was in the water with, I guess, Marie, I think it was?
Yeah.
And he was looking at the beach, and the guy, Mason,
We'll just say Mason.
was standing on the beach, and they're pretty far out. He said that Mason was on the beach looking like a stranded whale.
Yeah.
I remember that. I had to write that down because I'm like, that's so funny.
There was a couple things that this guy thought, and I was just like, you know what, that's actually not that bad. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. But what did you rate it? Or do you want me to go first?
A 2 out of 5.
I was generous. I gave it a 3.
I saw that on Storygraph, and I was pulling up reviews. Yeah, I was like, wow, I actually rated something less than you. I don't think that ever happens.
That has happened a time or two.
Usually I rate more than yours.
You do.
Yeah.
But there's been a time or two
Oh.
where I rated it more than you.
My buzzwords were weird, got lost a few times.
Yeah.
Had some lessons.
Yeah.
That's it.
My commentary was kind of confusing, It did get you thinking.
Yeah.
Overall, I kind of did wish it was, like, a little longer, only so that there was more of, like, a story and more, like,
more
understanding, more plot, so you can kind of
understand what's going on.
Yeah. But otherwise, it was kind of confusing.
It was very confusing.
Yeah.
Toby, I'm sorry that if we read the wrong book or if we are dissing one of your favorite books, but bro, what?
Listen, this is like the consequences of recommending a book to us is...
To Americans.
Yes,
Yeah.
to Americans.
I should have mentioned at the beginning of the episode, Toby is from the UK.
He's the reason why we're international, because he makes up like 3% of the UK.
He's the only reason that we're international.
The other 97% is American. Like he made us international with that UK.
Yeah, thanks, Tobes.
But anyways, I think that's kind of it.
His name should start with a J, so we can have 4 J's.
Joby.
Joby. The name of the episode. This one's for you, Joby. Okay, so let's thank all of our J-Man. Thank you, James. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Joby.
I can't forget about Jameson.
Don't forget Jameson, my son. Should not forget about that one. But yeah, so send us recommendations by email on biblioaudiopod@gmail.com.
Or through Instagram, which is what Toby did. I'm sorry, Joby.
Joby.
That's what Joby did.
Get it right, dang.
Sorry. So that's what Joby did. He
That's
sent
what
it through
Joby
an
did for us.
Insta DM after I asked him, because he DM'd us. I forgot how that conversation started. It got weird though, but sorry.
Oh, by the way, Joby, Alyssa runs the Instagram page, so that's always her when you talk to the Instagram page.
But I've consulted you a couple times.
No, she'll just send me screenshots and be like, "What do you want to say?" Yeah,
because you know him, I don't.
Yeah, I've known Joby, Joby Jarles, for I met him when I was about 10. I'm 23, so about 13 years. Yeah.
Sorry, I started laughing because you said Joby Jarles.
Joby Jarles. Oh, that's giving Jar Jar Binks. No, Joby Jarles is now his new name. You know what? I'm gonna change that name.
Oh, but anyways, I'll
snap immediately.
I'll keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
So, we said email was biblioaudiopod@gmail. Instagram is biblioaudiopodcast. And then the other thing that's really important-ish is that we are going to be in Sumiton, Alabama on October 14th for the Sumiton Book Fest. That's hosted by Booked on Maine. We're going to have a booth there, so if you want to come out and visit us, that would be dope. And that's about it. You have anything else?
You said the date and the time in Alabama? Okay. Sorry, I was changing his name to Joby Jarles. Joby Jarles. Anyways, yeah, so we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.